This one? No? Oh, this part is pink? Oh, okay, I'll keep looking for it. All right. Happy camping. Oh, hey. Hi, campers. Welcome to Camp Read A Lot. I'm Mrs. Hammack, and I am so excited that you're here with me at camp. Camp is a time for learning and having fun. And at Camp Read A Lot, we're going to spend our days reading and talking and singing and learning and all kinds of activities that will help us to grow to be strong readers. And this is our last week of camp. So we've got a few more things to get done before we pack up. Hey, parents, why don't you try to make reading a fun family bingo game? How much fun for your kids. Now, this is something you could do during the summer, but it's also something that you could do all year through the school year to make reading at home a little more exciting. And maybe for those kids that really struggle with wanting to read, this might be a way to get them engaged. You could make a bingo card together and think of fun ways for your kids to engage in reading every day. And when they get a bingo, they get a little prize. It could be something as simple as choosing what the family has for dinner. Or maybe they get to stay up 10 extra minutes. Or maybe you're going to give them a popsicle or something fun. It doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be expensive, just something really fun that they're interested in. So this family bingo card says, read to a pet, read in your swimsuit, read your favorite book, read in bed, read wearing sunglasses, read outside, read on a Friday, read a book about animals, read a fairy tale, read in your pajamas. There's just a bunch of ideas that you could come up with, and I bet your kids will have some great ideas too. Maybe they want to make a fort and read in the fort. Make reading time part of your family experience, and you're going to see a huge difference in how well your kids begin to read. So I hope that helps you with some ideas of how to engage your kids in reading at home. All right, campers, it's time for us to get started. Let's sing our song. Hello, readers. Hello, writers. Hello, campers. I'm glad you're here today. Hello, readers. Hello, writers. Hello, campers. I'm glad you're here today. And now it's time for our pledge. Are you ready? Okay. On my honor, I will try my best to be kind to everyone, to have a smile on my face, and a song in my heart. Great job. All right, today we are going to train our ears for sound, and we're going to look at some pictures and figure out which picture does not rhyme. Okay, we've got to wrangle up our friend Scooter though, because he's supposed to be here to help us. Have you seen him anywhere? I checked all the usual hiding spots and I haven't seen him. Oh, hold on. I hear some. Oh no. He's gotten into our activity for later because it's a snack. Excuse me, sir. What is it that you're doing? Yes, I see that's peanut butter. And I also see, friend, that you have marshmallows all over your face. I know you like marshmallows. I know they remind you, yes, I know they remind you of s'mores, but that's for later. I hope you left some of the marshmallows for the campers. No, I'm absolutely not taking them off your face. You're just gonna wear them. Are you ready to play the rhyming game? Well, look, the campers have been waiting for you. Oh, you are a mess. I cannot leave you alone for a second. Let's go do some rhyming, okay? All right. Oh my goodness, campers. Whew. Let's go. All right. Well, I told the campers that today we are going to choose the picture that does not rhyme. You didn't hear that, so now I'm telling you. Yes. Yes, I know. Yes, later. Oh my goodness. You know, your snacking is, you know, making you a little round. I know. All right, let's take a look at our words. It's hard to concentrate with those marshmallows on your head. I'm sorry. I have to take them off. All right, here we go. Now remember, we're looking for the picture that does not rhyme, okay? All right. Fox, shell, box. Okay, now if that's tricky for you, think first about what does rhyme. And then that will help you decide which one does not rhyme. So what did you think? Okay, what did you think? Fox and box rhyme. Yes, they do. Very good. That means shell does not, because shell has the ending sound L. Good job. All right, oops. Let's look at the next row of pictures. Spoon, moon, chair. What do you think? Which one does not rhyme? Spoon, moon, they both say oon. Okay, so that means they have to rhyme, right? Because they have the same ending part. But what about chair? Chair, moon. Chair, spoon. No, chair does not rhyme. It ends with air. Oon and air don't match, do they? Good thinking. All right, last one. Jar, clock, car. Did you hear it? You think so? Oh, okay. So Scooter says clock and car. What do you think? Is he right? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Oh, I see a lot of thumbs down. Do you know why? Can you tell him why? Oh, because clock has ok and car has r. I think you were listening to the beginning sound, k, k, clock, and k, k, car. Oh, yeah, you got confused. Probably too many marshmallows in your brain. Okay, so clock and jar, do they go together? No. How about jar and car? Yes, great rhyming. Good for you. That is fantastic. I have a joke for you and for you. All right, why did they let the turkey in the band? Why did they let the turkey join the band? Because he had the drumsticks. Get it? Drumsticks. Turkeys have drumsticks, and then the drumsticks that... Okay, never mind. Let's do our catch of the day. You sit down there. No more marshmallows. All right, let's see what we have for today. All right, friends. We have the word assistant. Oh, Scooter is my helpful assistant. That's a person who helps you with work or something you need to do, an assistant. All right, how about a patient? A patient. This says patience. Now, there's two kinds of words that say patience, right? Patience, like I'm calm and I'm waiting patiently, but this is different. This one is actually a plural, meaning more than one. So patient means, this particular patient means like someone that is at the doctor or at the dentist, somebody who's getting medical care, a patient. That make better sense? Good. All right, and then we have pitiful. Pitiful, very sad, something to feel sorry for. Sometimes Scooter is pitiful when he's begging for snacks. I feel very sorry for him. All right, friends, our story today is called Dr. DeSoto, and this is a story about courage. Do you remember what courage is? How about you, Scooter? Do you remember? That's right. Scooter said it means when you might be afraid, but you do something anyway. Courage is being able to move forward and achieve your goals, even if you're a little bit nervous or afraid. You have courage. And today, I think you're going to see some examples of courage in our story. Let me get my reading tools on. All right. Our story today is Dr. DeSoto by William Steig. Here's our front cover and our back cover. Here is, oh, not the title page. Here's the title page. There you go. All right. Can you tell by looking at this picture what kind of doctor Dr. DeSoto is? Right, he's a tooth doctor, and we call that a dentist. Good job. All right, let's find out. Let's jump in and see where the story takes us. Dr. DeSoto, the dentist, did very good work, so he had no end of patients. Those close to his own size, moles, chipmunks, etc., sat in the regular dentist's chair. Larger animals sat on the floor while Dr. DeSoto stood on a ladder. So, do you know what it means when it says he had no end of patients? It means that he had lots and lots of patients because he did very good work. There was no end of the line that people came to see him. For extra large animals, he had a special room. There, Dr. DeSoto was hoisted up to the patient's mouth by his assistant, who also happened to be his wife. Look, there she is. Do you see how she's attached him to a little harness, and then she pulls and it lifts him way up? Yes, yes. Scooter said he thinks that looks really fun. I think it looks fun too. Dr. DeSoto was especially popular with big animals. He was able to work inside their mouths wearing rubber boots to keep his feet dry, and his fingers were so delicate and his drill was so dainty they could hardly feel any pain at all. Sometimes people are afraid to go to the dentist, right? Because the tools make noise and it kind of feels funny in our mouths. But Dr. DeSoto was so tiny, they didn't mind. Being a mouse, he refused to treat animals dangerous to mice, and it said so on his sign. When the doorbell rang, he and his wife would look out the window, and they wouldn't admit even the most timid-looking cat. So here's his sign. It says, Dr. DeSoto, dentist, cats and other dangerous animals not accepted for treatments. Why do you think he said no to cats? Right, because cats like to eat mice, right? And he doesn't want that to happen. But one day, when they looked out, they saw a well-dressed fox with a flannel bandage wrapped around his jaw. I cannot treat you, sir, Dr. DeSoto shouted out the window. Sir, haven't you read my sign? Please, the fox wailed. Have mercy, I'm suffering. And he wept so bitterly, it was pitiful to see. Let's risk it, said Mrs. DeSoto. She pressed the buzzer and she let the fox in. He was up the stairs in a flash. Bless your hearts, he cried, falling to his knees. I beg you, do something. My tooth is killing me. Sit up on the floor, please, Dr. DeSoto said, and remove the bandage, please. Are they showing courage? I think you're right. I think they are. Dr. DeSoto climbed up the ladder and bravely entered the fox's mouth. "Oh, wow," he gasped. The fox had a rotten bicuspid and unusually bad breath. "This tooth will have to come out," Dr. DeSoto announced, "but we can make you a new one." "Just stop the pain," whimpered the fox, wiping some tears away. Despite his misery, he realized he had a tasty little mouse in his mouth, and his jaw began to quiver. "Keep it open," said Dr. DeSoto. "Wide open," yelled his wife. Oh my goodness. "I'm giving you gas now," said Dr. DeSoto. "You won't feel a thing while I yank out your tooth." Soon the fox was in dreamland. Yummy," he mumbled. "Oh, how I love them raw, with just a pinch of salt and dry white wine." They could guess that he was dreaming about mice. Mrs. DeSoto handed her husband a pole to keep the fox's mouth open. Dr. DeSoto fastened his extractor to the bad tooth, and then he and his wife began turning the winch. Finally, with a sucking sound, the tooth popped out and hung swaying in the air. "I'm bleeding," the fox yelped when he came to. Dr. DeSoto ran up the ladder and stuffed some gauze into the hole. "The worst is over," he said. "I'll have your new tooth ready tomorrow. Be here at 11 sharp. The fox, still woozy, said goodbye and left, and on his way home, he wondered if it would be shabby of him to eat the DeSotos when the job was finished. What does that mean? He wondered if it would be shabby. Right, he wondered, would it be bad if he ate them? What do you think? Yeah! So after office hours, Mrs. DeSoto modeled a tooth of pure gold and polished it. "Raw with salt indeed," muttered Dr. DeSoto. "How foolish we are to trust a fox." "He didn't know what he was saying," said Mrs. DeSoto. "Why would he harm us? We're helping him." "Because he's a fox," said Dr. DeSoto. "They're wicked, wicked creatures." That night, the DeSotos lay awake worrying. "Should we let him in tomorrow?" Mrs. DeSoto wondered. "Well, once I start a job," said the dentist firmly, "I have to finish it. My father was the same way." "But we must do something to protect ourselves," said his wife. They talked and they talked until they formed a plan. "I think it will work," said Dr. DeSoto. A minute later, he was snoring. The next morning, promptly at 11, a very cheerful fox turned up. He was feeling not a particle of pain. When Dr. DeSoto got into his mouth, he snapped it shut for a moment. Then he opened it wide. "Ha ha! Just a joke," he said. Do you think the Dr. DeSoto thought that was funny? I don't think so either. "Be serious," said the dentist sharply. "We have work to do." His wife was lugging the heavy tooth up the ladder. "Oh, I love it!" exclaimed the fox. "It is just beautiful." Dr. DeSoto set the gold tooth in its socket and hooked it up to the teeth on both sides. The fox caressed his new tooth with his tongue. "My, it feels good. I really shouldn't eat them. On the other hand, how can I resist?" "We're not finished," said Dr. DeSoto, holding up a large jug. "I've made here a remarkable potion developed only recently by my wife and me. With just one application, you can be rid of toothaches forever. How would you like to be the first one to receive this unique treatment?" "Oh, yeah, I certainly would," declared the fox. "I would be honored." He hated any kind of pain. "You will never have to see us again," said Dr. DeSoto. "No one will see you again," thought the fox. He had definitely made up his mind to eat them with the help of his brand new tooth. Dr. DeSoto stepped into the fox's mouth with a bucket of secret formula, and he proceeded to paint each tooth. He hummed as he worked. Mrs. DeSoto stood by on the ladder, pointing out spots that he had missed. The fox looked very happy. What do you think he's thinking about while Dr. DeSoto's putting on the special treatment? You think he's thinking about how tasty they'll be? I think he is. When the dentist was done, he stepped out. Now, close your jaw tight and keep it closed for 1 full minute. The fox did as he was told, and then when he tried to open his mouth, his teeth were stuck together. Excuse me. I should have meant, hello? Oh, excuse me. I should have mentioned, said Dr. DeSoto. You won't be able to open your mouth for a day or two. The secret formula must first permeate the dentine. But don't worry, no pain ever again. The fox was stunned. He stared at Dr. DeSoto and then at Mrs. DeSoto. Then he smiled and waited. All he could do was say, "Thank you very much," through his clenched teeth and get up and leave. He tried to do so with dignity. Then he stumbled down the stairs in a daze. Dr. DeSoto and his assistant had outfoxed the fox. They kissed each other and took the rest of the day off. Oh, I love when a story ends in a surprise. Were you surprised that they glued his teeth closed? How clever. They were courageous though, weren't they? Yes. Now I was wondering a few things, and I wrote them down here on my chart. I was wondering how the author, William Steig, thought of the idea of an animal being a dentist. It's good to wonder things when you're reading. I was also wondering if Dr. DeSoto and his wife had a bad experience with cats because they were so careful about not letting them inside. Do you think they did? It doesn't tell us, does it? But it makes me wonder what happened to make him put on the sign, "No cats or other dangerous animals." Something happened, right? Yeah. Well, it's time for us to go to our snack and craft table. But before we do, I have a joke for you. Are you ready? I have a joke for you too. What has 2 legs but can't walk? Do you know? A pair of pants. I'm going to take my pair of pants right over to the snack table. Let's go. And you, sir, better stay way back here this time. You can watch from afar. You've already had your snack. All right, so I thought it would be fun. Since our story was about the dentist, I thought we'd make a delicious snack. All right, so this snack is called Apple Smiles. I have my handy dandy apple slicer, and I'm gonna put it there, and I'm gonna have to stand up to use my muscles, but then I'm gonna poke it down here, and when I push it all the way through the apple, using my muscles, then I have slices. Look at that. Now, I'm gonna set this over here. I need 2 pieces of apple, okay? And I'm going to use peanut butter. Now, if you cannot use peanut butter because maybe you're allergic to peanuts or nuts, then you could try using something else. Maybe you have, I don't know what you could use. Maybe cream cheese, that might work. Or something else that is kind of a little bit sticky. All right, oh, I made a mess there. All right, so I'm gonna wipe that off. And then I'm going to put on my marshmallow teeth. Now, I only had rainbow marshmallows, but that's okay because maybe that's why you need to go to the dentist. Maybe your teeth are not the right color and you need to check that out. Look at that. An apple smile. That's fun. Have you ever had apples and peanut butter? They're one of my very most favorite snacks Oh, yes, you too. I know. All right, so let me move this over here. I'm going to give this apple smile to my assistant, and he's going to have, oh, your smile's falling apart. How fun. So you can make some fun snacks at home. Apples are actually really good for you. Maybe not so much the marshmallows. Make sure you brush your teeth when you're finished. Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you. Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Howl. Ow, ow! Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you and you and you and you. Bye-bye.